Yes guys, welcome from me, Challenge Manager 0102, the three-man game. We are off and running into season 130. We're not massively far into it, but we're off and running. And I want to do a quick video on this, just to give you an update as to where we're at, as I've just fired it up as a solo game. And we've got a planned session tonight, so I really wanted to get this done ASAP. Let's start then with, we left it where Ian still had the Confederations, didn't we? Well, to be fair to Ian, from the international perspective, you know, he went the distance in the Copa America and won it. He failed at the last hurdle in the Confederations, where he lost to England. As you can see right there, he has won a couple of friendlies since so. So I think he'd be a little bit pissed off and disappointed not to have won the Confederations. But he remains, as Brazil, manager. Meanwhile, Pep, yeah, he's Holland, isn't he? Pepe is still going strong in his European Euro 2144 qualifiers. He's already confirmed qualification. He's the groups, but I think we've still got playoffs actually, haven't we? No, we haven't. No, we've had the playoffs actually. We're a bit further than I thought actually, so we're up to the 18th of November. So that's the internationals. Let's go to the league. It's been a brutal start for me. It really has. A little bit excited about doing this, a little bit of piss. Yeah, we've had an absolute fabulous start as Chelsea. It's a long, long way to go. Ian, as you can see, has had a bit of a woeful start, and Pep. I mean, if Pep can win that game in hand over Ian, he'll be level on points, which I think, realistically, if Pep gets runners-up this season, it'll be a hell of an improvement for him. He needs, what Pep needs, he needs runners-up and he needs a cup. He needs a Champions League, really. Okay, so in terms of me and Chelsea, we've gone with two up top, which seems to be working really well for me at the minute. Now, what's working really well for me, I've changed my little setup a little bit, is it's kind of the middleman, but I've called it middle two up top. Middleman, but I've moved two up top so I can benefit Arias and Kune. I've got no arrows at all. And I also, this is the really important thing here, I didn't show you this guy before because I hadn't purchased him. I didn't want to have any spoilers. Miroslav Pamic. Getting on a little bit. Yes, I know, 29. That is a Luka Modric regen. But you can see the fact that I've bought him. He's at MC. I'm playing him right bang in the middle. And you can just see the return I'm having with 8 assists, 5 goals, 8-2-2. What that, of course, means is that I've got no place for anybody as an attacking midfielder. Polo, you may remember Polo. He's had a fabulous start for me. I mean, that is fucking insane. 17 games starts, 13 assists is fucking insane. And I was close to getting rid of him, but that really is. I mean, look at that. 13 assists in 3 months is crazy. Gonzalez on the left, 6 assists in 5. Again, 8-4-3, doing really, really well. Jose Villar, just behind, 11 assists in 13 games. Is crazy. Let's go to our strikers now. Olaf Kune. It's been him and Arias up top. Kune is on 16 goals in 19. And the main man himself, 32 years of age, he hasn't stopped, does he? 34 goals in 18 games. I did wonder if he would slow down, but he's going to be 32 for the duration of this season. I mean, look at him. He's fucking, it's insane, isn't it? I think he got did he get a red card? He did, yeah. I think I was listening to a rerun of my last video, and I said his problem last season was that he got 3, and I think I said yellow cards. I meant to say red cards, just so you know, in case any wise ass says, oh, he made a mistake. So he got 3 red cards last season, and he's already got 1 red card this season. And of course, we've got the Osterberg, the Zlatan regen, ready to come in. I mean, even he has hit 10 goals in 5 starts. So, pretty crazy. DMC, Milanovic, the Russian, 850. And in terms of my back three has been quite stable. The Nigerian, little bit of experience. Assad. Now, Slavic is injured. So, well, you can see how shit Assad's done for me. Victor Bazan has done really well. He's my captain. And remember, I repurchased Milan Sia, Slovenian goalkeeper. He's done really, really well for me. The DMC thing. Diop is suspended. I moved Diop back into DMC. I moved him back into DMC. It's come at a cost because he's got a red card. So he'll probably reclaim his place as soon as he returns. Slavic. Yeah, he's still out. I didn't realise Assad was injured, but I don't really give a shit about that, to be honest with you. Yeah. So, so that's the... in terms of some signings, so we brought... let me just see now then. We brought Alfarar. Now, does anyone... Did you see this guy? I don't think you did you? The Costa Rican? He's a regen of a different Costa Rican we used to have in the game. You've just seen Villar. Villar was one of my signings, actually. You might not have seen that. I can't remember if you did. No, you couldn't have, because I hadn't shown you Pamic, had I? I'd shown you Maximiliano Bazan. I think I called him a defender in my last video. He's a midfielder, but obviously I'm using a midfield centre. Now, before I come to attacking midfield in a minute, another player that I purchased, where is he? I brought this guy as another striker. I like the look of him. I don't think he'll make the grade, but I did buy this guy as well, another striker. I don't really need these strikers, and I think I'm clutching at straws. I don't really need to buy them. I had a player on the radar, but I don't know where he is. And maybe it hasn't gone through yet, so I'm not going to go to my shortlist because of stream snipers. You know who you are. And in terms of players out, we've sold we got rid of the Christian Eriksen regen, Dennis Winfer. We got rid of Shahata. Do you remember I said there was a bit of an issue with it? Said I can't buy any more foreign players. So I bought an English player, and then I managed to get some foreign players, and I freed up my English player. So that's why you see all these frees. I remember speaking about Jimenez. I remember actually saying about Linda as well. So that is where we're at. Now, in terms of the Champions League, first phase complete. I think we've just got to the second phase, haven't we? Is that where we've just got to? Yeah. Oh, we've just started the second phase, actually. So there's me. There's Pep. And there's Ian. And Wolverhampton Wanderers have made it to the second phase. I didn't even know who made it into the top 4 last season, but Wolves are there. So good on them. Now, you may recall, I did say we'd have to keep an eye on Shrewsbury, because they're third tier, and they're in Europe, aren't they? And they are still in Europe. So they've knocked out Spartacus in the second round of the UEFA Cup. They're out the League Cup, as you can see. They're out the FA Cup. They're out the FA Cup, fucking hell. And they knocked out San Marino team Trepana in the first leg of the UEFA. So they're still riding high in the UEFA Cup, but they are 19th. Okay, so that is that. Let's have a quick gander at the rivals. Ian, see if he's bought any more players. He certainly has bought a few more players since the last update. He's been a busy bee. The Senegal player, I think, is a good player. A good youngster Ian's brought there. Hendricks. Now, I believe that is Van Persie regen. It was one of those players, one of those deals that the board kept cancelling. I've got him loads of times. Board cancelled it numerous times. Ian's had him a few times, cancelled. Eventually, I gave up. And then Ian got a deal over the line where it was 15.75 and an additional... I must have already paid it. It was an additional £10 million after X amount of appearances. So he must have already paid it. Well done to Ian on that. No one really of interest that's gone out. He got rid of Højlund. He did tell me about Højlund. And let's have a quick gander at Pep. Actually, remember Højlund, attacking midfield centre. I'll explain why in a second. Let's go to Southampton, see if Pep's done anything. If you remember, he hasn't bought much, has he? So, he'd only brought that one player. So he's brought Dennis, clearly for the reserves. I don't know, Pep. I don't know. A decent, I remember seeing him, a decent centre half there. Not got the pace, but got some strong attributes. Not bad if you're playing fullbacks. Not bad. Asario, decent indeed. I didn't even see that, to be honest with you. He looks like a shower of shit. And finally, Nesta Goni. I don't even remember seeing him, but yeah, he's a decent player. So, I said to you about that I haven't really got a space for an attacking midfield at the minute because I'm using a central midfielder in the middle because I'm not using any arrow. So, the player that's obviously going to be punished about that, well, the man can play on the right, that's that Eden Hazard regen, but the player that's going to get the biggest kick up the arse is going to be this guy, the guy that I beat Ian and Pep to. I mentioned him on my previous video. He's had 2 games. I changed it around after that. But Ian said about that player, Højlund was going, and he said, I can't give him games. And I said, yeah, I know what you mean. I have the same issue with a player in my reserves. And I was referring to Sanchez. And I said it as a sort of, yeah, I've got the same problem, Ian. Next thing, cheeky cunt fucking makes a bid for him. And I said, I'm not even going to negotiate that. Not a fucking chance. Even if I'm not playing central midfielders, that cunt can sit in my reserves for 10 years. You know, I mean, maybe having an MC is perfect. I don't know, but I mean, look at him. I mean, even so far, he's on loan at Brentford. That was a calculated loan deal, by the way. More about that in a second. But he's got the attributes all over the place. I'm not even worried about him not being very pacey, because 20 finishing, 20 dribbling, 20 decisions, I mean, even 19 crossing, off the ball, passing, long shots, influence, technique. I haven't got a clue who he's a regen of. Really haven't. But what a fucking player. And he's still under a long contract with me. I'm going to have to obviously pay 13 million in total, 5 million after 10 appearances, it looks like. International, shall I say, sorry? No, league appearance. Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Oh, no, okay, that's 10 league appearances for me, isn't it? Yeah. So he's had 8. Okay, so obviously the ones that he's had for Brentford don't count, obviously. Okay, either way, who gives a fuck? So yeah, what a player. So the cheeky cunt. So the attacking midfield side of things, I mean, let me know your views. If you were playing this formation, where the number 7 slot is, would it be an MC or would you bother with an AMC? I mean, would you have my Modric regen or the Colombian? I mean, you're looking at the Colombian and you're thinking, nah, you got to play him, and you're probably right. I mean, I gave him a hatful of games last season. Look how well he did for me. But then you got to think to yourself, look at Modric so far, or Pamic. He don't look nowhere near as good. If I do the comparison, they're going to say the Colombian all day long. But you've got to... And I've spoke about this before based on a conversation with Andrew Vince about youngsters. Don't throw them straight in. You've got to blend them in. You've got to really blend them in. And I've been very guilty of that in this game over the years. I've still got Robben on the bench. I was going to say in the resis. I've still got a really strong squad. I mean, even Silva, he came in for a bit. Villar was injured. Silva came in and he was performing heroics. Rastelli hasn't really had a fair shot yet. But don't forget how well he did for me last season. We spoke about Osterberg. Boya, the Cameroonian, no, forget about him. James Brown, no, forget about him. Manzi, my backup goalkeeper. I say backup goalkeeper, he's a fucking worldie. He's unhappy. He's getting really unhappy. A lot of people are getting pissed off with him. Polo has really shocked me this season. Polo, he has been my standout player. Because he don't look the bollocks, but it just shows, don't it? You know, my tactics, my training, I've altered it a little bit. I've changed it a little bit. And in terms of my resis, who did we buy? Did we buy someone for the resis? No one knew. So we've got Memic, of course. Memic out for a month. Let me just do a really quick physio check on him. No, he's got no long terms. Okay. So, you know, that is where we are at. You know, let me show you now very quickly before I piss off the big games, and these are always the big games. We went to Ian, and that's where Arias got red carded. So you'd say that probably a draw was a fair result, but that's how it finished. And you'd probably, you know, maybe if Arias hadn't been sent off, I probably could have won it more convincingly. Who knows? But I would have taken the draw, in all fairness. I'd have happily taken the draw, especially after the red card. But to get a 90th minute winner, I ain't going to lie to you, I fucking leapt at that. I really did leap at that. Ian beat me in the Charity Shield. He beat me in the Charity Shield deservedly, I think it would be fair to say. So, it's not like the two up top is a killer formation, because the only difference I did there is I had a different sort. I mean, Poldevar started, Sanchez started in the middle. That's not the Colombian Sanchez, by the way. That's Garcia Sanchez. Rastelli played. Diop played over there. I had a midfielder in defensive midfield slot. I was trialling it, to be honest. More so because I'm happy to trial it in a Charity Shield. Fact, reason, couldn't give a flying fuck about the Charity Shield. So, let's just see if Ian's played Pep yet. I thought he had, but I might be wrong. No, he hasn't. So, one big game out of the way. The 4 big games, of course. The 6 big games. are me against Pep, Pep against me against Ian, Ian against me, and then of course both games between Pep and Ian. They're always the games, and you'd often say they're the games that decide the season. But as you can see, Ian has already slipped up twice this season. Apart from that defeat with me, he drew at Cardiff, which was he'll be very, very disappointed on that. And there was another draw somewhere along the line. Let's just see where the other draw was. It was there, home to Brentford. Well, I suppose he'll be happy on that. So he'd already drawn. Now Pep, obviously he's not played any of us, and he slipped up 3 times, 2 draws and a defeat. So let's see where they've come. A nice 9-0 victory there. Oh, he has played... Oh, God, I've gone on to scrap that. Let me just go to that. Okay. So, yeah, he lost at home to Rotherham. I remember him messaging about this, and he was a little bit pissed off about that. Felt a little bit sorry for him, to be honest with you. That was a little bit brutal. And he's had 2 draws. Home to Sunderland. Yeah, so I suppose it's harsh because of the last minute. And look who scored the equaliser. And there was another draw somewhere along the line. There it is, 3-3. So Cardiff City again. Are Cardiff going to be the bogey team? Although he only scraped that. I said to you very quickly, I've just remembered, about my calculated loan deal. So Leonel Sanchez, that brutal attacking midfield Colombian, he's gone to Brentford. He's gone to the Premier League. But the plan was, he's not allowed to play in games against me. He can play in the Cup. So if Brentford land me in the Cup, then it makes no difference. I don't want to recall him for the Cup. No, sorry. He can play in the Cup. I can recall him regardless. But he'll be Cup tied. I'm worried about that. The most important thing is he can't play against me. So when it comes to a league match, he can't play against me. But the good thing is, he can play for Brentford against Ian and Pep. That's what I mean by a calculated loan. And, it might come to nothing, to be honest with you. But, I want him to get some game time. I really do. And he's still got 9 years left on his deal. And finally, let's have a quick look. Now, I ain't going to lie to you here. I've said this before, that if there's one job that I'd consider, it would be Man City or Arsenal. None of them have come up. Pep tried to sway me by saying that the Peterborough United job's come up. Cheeky cunt. That being said, I don't really want to leave Chelsea whilst we're in this position, if I'm truly honest with you. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds? That's it then from the 3-man game from me, guys. Anything you want to know? Anything you want to do on CM? Do let me know. Till next time, take it easy.